do you think about these forwards last year? I mean, some good signs, a bunch of guys that, I don't know, they were there. What do we say about the 2018-2019 Vancouver Canucks and going forward?
Well, aside from some great years for Bo Horvat, a career year, and Besser pushing the envelope again, and Petey being Petey, a lot of round pegs being banged into square holes, and I think that's a real concern moving forward here into the fall. You've had some nice additions like Josh Levo, which is a pretty astute trade, but he's a guy who plays the left side or the right side. I'm still looking for Ryan Spooner. He played, right? Okay.
He's not making a couple nice passes.
Well, and this is the problem. If you look, I think the left side is a real concern here. Tanner Pearson had the nice burst, 6 goals in his last 9 games. So technically, maybe Bo has a left winger. They still need to find a right side guy for him. But when you look more closely at the left side, Sven Berchi's concussion concerns. We don't really know what to make of Nikolai Goldobin as an RFA. I mentioned the fact that you couldn't find Spooner. Your most consistent left winger last year is Antoine Roussel.
And we don't know when he's going to be
He
back.
might not be back till the new year. So there's a real problem there in terms of what is Travis Green going to do with his lineup. It was curious to me that late in the year he tried Jake on the left side, a right shot guy on the left side, who really, when you see Jake come down the ice, he tends to make that move, go to his backhand, drive the net, or go around the net and try to find somebody. I think there's a curiosity level there. But boy, Travis didn't exactly paint a rosy picture. He said he's got a lot of development work to do if he's going to be a top 6 forward. So add all that together, we haven't even gotten into the other guys, all the RFAs and some of the contracts are saddled with. It's a real mishmash.
It's interesting that you mentioned the thing about Virtanen, because that was something that stood out to me when you asked Travis Green about that. I remember, and Travis didn't really describe Jake Virtanen as the guy he wanted to play with Pedersen and Besser, was he?
He said, is he the guy? He says he's going to have to develop. And I think the big curiosity for me is that a first-round pick, when you're picked 6th overall and you project best as a third-line right winger, because with Jake, you always need to be attentive to playing without the puck. And he was better in that regard. You look at a lot of his numbers in terms of giveaways, takeaways, and all that. He was way better this year. Led the team in takeaways, was all the way down to 11th in giveaways. He was, I think, 2nd overall the previous year to Daniel, which is real improvement, being out there in the last minute of the game, getting some power play time, playing in 3-on-3. He's made progress, but boy, to be a top 6 forward in this league, I think it's a quantum leap for some guys, and I don't know if Jake can make it.
What do you think of Adam Gaudette's year?
Well, I think another interesting thing at the end of the year was when we asked about Adam Gaudette and we asked about Brandon Sutter, I really thought they couched everything in the sense that they don't know if Gaudette is quite ready for the day-in, day-out grind of the NHL. He's got a great problem. He can't keep weight on. I mean, I can walk by a hot dog and I got a problem. To quote Jake.
Yeah.
So I think that, again, dovetails into Sutter being here, or can Sutter play the right side too? And I think it's kind of a safety valve thing. I think they want Gaudette here, but they need to get his mojo going offensively. This was a 30-goal guy, a Hobie Baker winner, who's having trouble finishing at the NHL. And a lot of it has to do with strength issues. He can skate. His skating has to be better. He's got a good enough shot, but he can't finish.
We saw flashes. I mean, to me, part of it too was a bit of getting used to that grind. It was something that Pedersen ran. Besser talked about it going into the season. That was the biggest thing he learned his first full season, is just how long, and it's just the repetition and the travel and the lack of rest, and like you said, the sort of the demands physically, the challenge keeping your weight up and keeping your sort of body attuned to all the demands.
And Gaudette had the flu on 2 occasions last year. That's bad for a guy trying to keep weight on. When he left, he said he was 179, almost 180 pounds, which might sound light to us, but that's 10 pounds more than he usually is going into the summer. So if you can add another 10 and keep it on, I think that's really going to help him in his puck battles and stuff, and being stronger on pucks and being stronger in taking pucks to the net.
What about Marcus Granlund? I mean, he was been sort of that utility kit player, but it did get healthy scratch, even though Travis Green played him a lot most of the time. But then all of a sudden there was that blip in the late in the season when he didn't get.
He's a nice guy to have if you have that luxury. I don't think they have that luxury. He's another guy who's basically a left side guy. If you want to go back to the left side guys, he's an RFA. I asked Jim the other day; they're still not sure what they're going to do with him. So I don't think you bring him back.
And then just the last guy I was thinking about was just looking at Jay Beagle. What did you make of Jay Beagle's year? I mean, a lot of money, more money than probably you want to spend on a 4th line center. Good dude, as we discovered, but You know, was that a player they needed?
Being a great guy in the room that's a lot of money, a lot of term for a guy who was hoping to get back to the great year he had with Washington, and being a guy could actually contribute. And but then again, if you look at it, the PK improved drastically. I think it was mid-pack at the end of the year, and that was a big. They really got out of the gate slow. He was great in the circle again, 54-55% guy. Did what he had to do, but again, you'd like to see a little bit more. People in this marketplace have a huge problem with Beagle, but then again, to get unrestricted free agents on their last contract to come to a marketplace where they're years away from making the playoffs, that's the cachet. I didn't have a big problem with him in terms of his on-ice deployment, but boy, you'd like to see a little bit more point production.
All right, folks, lots more coming. The Under the Microscope series continues next week, and I guess into June almost.
Right into mid-June, and next thing you know, we're talking draft.